A very good afternoon to all. So welcome to the information session for the Capture the Flag Cybersecurity Challenge that will happen on as a part of IT Code Fair 2021. So the date for the Cybersecurity Challenge, it is in line with the Data Science Challenge. Let me just share the things. So the date for the cybersecurity challenge, it is on 30th of November, which is a Tuesday, and it starts at 9 o'clock. But we expect people to be online, or people to be there starting from 8:30 onwards, so that we can do some all the logistics and checks and few other things. If any one of you has not registered, or if any one of your friends has not been registered, please ensure that you register for the cybersecurity challenge. And this time it is going to be completely virtual, meaning to say students who are online students who are not from Darwin, your interstate, or even some of the students who are out of Australia, it is possible for you to take part in this particular challenge. How it's going to happen and all those things, it will be explained by Irun, who's sitting next to me. He'll just come into the picture. He always wants to be invisible man. So he'll be explaining to you. It'll be predominantly what we have been discussing in PRT 572 on HRE 333 class. Same server, same details, everything will be used. But on top of it, you'll be working with your team members, or working with your team member, and then from there you'll be developing your skill set. In addition to that, there is only two members are allowed in a team. This is to ensure they can use one of their machine to be ready, because you might from your class, either 572 this year or the previous year, when HRE 333, you might have your Kali Linux ready. If you do not have any of the credentials for your VPN login, not the CDU VPN, but the VPN to connect to the CDU cloud, CDU cyber cloud, you just let me know, so that I can ensure that those credentials are up and running. But what I'm going to do a day before or a couple of days before, I'll have a session to ensure that you have the credentials. We'll check all the credentials and make sure that the connection is live before, or the connection is perfect before starting of the session. Okay, guys. And now I'll hand it over to Irun. He is the cybersecurity expert and a good friend of mine. And we are representing Australia Information Security Association. This is the third year we are running this particular challenge. We have improved over time, and there are a lot of exciting things which Irun might be sharing it. So I don't want to be a spoiler. So now I'm handing it over to Irun.
Hello, everyone. All right, so as Barani already indicated, we are running this challenge for the third year in a row. If you have participated the previous years, you would have remembered that we were writing capture the flag, or the flags that were being captured on a piece of paper, which was a bit old school. So there's a big change in that for this year. We're gonna be using the CTFD platform. Now, what that means is that before the challenge starts and everyone VPNs in to the cloud, you'll be going to a CTFD web server where you'll register for an account. Once you've logged in with that account, you can then create a team and you can add the other team member in. So both of you will be able to submit flags that you're finding as part of the challenge, and it all gets tallied up together. Now, when the Capture the Flag event starts, the platform will show you some information on how to get started, and it'll list all the different flags that you can get. So you click on a flag, you get a little bit of a text to advise what they're after. And once you find the answer, you submit it there and you get points. Ultimately, at the end of the challenge, the person or the team with the most points will win the challenge. Now, the previous years we had not that many flags to capture, so it was a bit steep of a learning curve. We're changing that up this year, and it'll be a more gradual increase in difficulty as you move along. And at the same time, later on with the more difficult flags, there will be hints available. So if you're stuck and you don't know how to continue on, you can ask for a hint. This will take some points off the total score that you have, but it might give you that edge to continue on to get the flag in the end. Now, that's the platform that we'll be using and to submit all your flags and to find out what you're going to do. Now, the challenge itself is structured like a penetration test where you would be hired by a company to come in and they say, look, test our network. We're going to be using a /28 or 24 network where 2 servers will be located. Part of the challenge will be identifying the server. So it's all, keep that methodology in mind. Is you want to do your recon, your scanning first, get familiar with that, find the targets, and from there you want to enumerate the servers, see what is running, identify potential weaknesses, exploit the weaknesses to get a foothold. Once you get a foothold onto the server, see how you can escalate your privileges on that server to ultimately get root access on the Linux server or local admin on the Windows server to capture all the flags. And like I said, that I'm making it sound pretty straightforward and simple. There will be some slow progression through the flags as you're moving along. But that will be in short the challenge. And as part of the tools that you need, definitely Nmap, especially with the scanning, I would highly recommend, and Metasploit. From there, the tools that are listed may or may not be useful, but you will find that out once you perform your recon, which tools you want to start using. And like I said, if you do get stuck and you don't know where to go, there will be hints available to nudge you along the way. All right, that was all I would like to share. I don't want to give too much away. It's still going to be a bit of a challenge. Are there any questions? All right. Barani just advised me that the questions are not available at the moment. If you do have any questions, just contact Barani directly and he'll be addressing the any questions you may have. I can hang around for a couple of minutes if anyone sends them through to Barani now, the questions. And if you don't have any questions, then I'll look forward to seeing you either in person at the event or online on the 30th of November. Thank you for your time. You want me to pass it back to you, Barani? I'll pass it back to Barani.
Right, guys. So probably you have heard from the expert about what exactly things are being to be done. I can see he has asked you to use Nmap, enumerate, and then work on with the things. It's all about the cycle, what we have discussed in the classes. So it is more towards like find out the vulnerabilities. So first get the IP. So always remember, if you can ping, you can pawn and get the IP address. And from there, you just get into the vulnerabilities. And based on those vulnerabilities, you try to exploit. The exploitation could be 100 different ways. Either you could use Metasploit or you could use some of the tools which has been listed on the cybersecurity challenge webpage. And on top of it, you can just use any of those openly available tool sets in the Kali Linux machine. You will be permitted to have 2 laptops. One laptop, it could serve as your search. It's an open book. Definitely, this is the question students will be asking, whether it's a closed book or an open book one. So it's open book, open internet, open CV, whatever it is you just want, you can call it open. So if you want to use 2 laptops, or if you want to bring in the 3rd tablet, you're free to do. And we have reserved, or there is a room, there is a venue that has been booked for on-campus students, and I would suggest whoever present in Darwin, just come and come physically, because it is a great opportunity to network, and you can have all the internet services within CDU. So anything happens with the internet, CDU's responsibility. And on top of it, you'll be given, I mean, there will be a very nice place for you to sit and work. And obviously, you'll be given enough food. We'll make sure that your tummy is filled once in a while or frequently, because we know people will be very hungry. And on top of it, if anything happens, it's much easier for us to troubleshoot it in front. And moreover, please test all the Kali Linux machine virtual things, everything prior to that. As I always tell in the class, don't make any update, don't try anything new before the challenge. So keep it ready, and obviously these things, it'll be very interesting. Even I'm excited to see what Irun has done this year, because every year I'll be with him and he runs through the challenges, and sometimes it challenges or it challenges our thought process also. He's very good in provoking things, and I'm also equally excited to see what Irun is going to offer for this year. Once again, I would like to thank all the students, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me, and I'll let all the cybersecurity challenge participants, we'll fix a date so that we'll check all the connections, VPN connections, a couple of days before the challenge, so that we all set to go. Again, as you all know, do not hesitate to email me or just stop me if you see me, so that I will be able to answer all your questions. And in addition to that, again, if you have any questions, just drop an email to me, so that I'll just, if I can't answer, I'll get the answer from Irun and I'll get back to you. Right, guys? So hopefully you have all the questions answered. Let me check whether I have received any questions from students. Just give me a second. So far, I have not received any questions, but we are always, I'll be hanging around, and if you have any questions, just feel free to email me so that I can just put it in the live event. Thank you, guys.